Do you believe that there is something you could do, a specific action that you could take right now that will make your personal life and your business life worse? Let me see your hands if so. Well then, on the contrary, do you believe that there's something you could do, a specific action that you could take right now that will make your personal life and your business life better? Let me see your hands. Mr. Toastmaster, members, and welcome guests. My name is Ryan Wolf, and until just a few short years ago, I believed the former, but not the latter. I believe that if something negative happened in my life, that is because I didn't focus well enough, or I didn't plan well enough, I didn't work hard enough, or that I wasn't enough. But when something good happened, and there have been millions of good things, I have been incredibly blessed. I didn't believe that those were something that I achieved on my own way. Instead, I believed that they were gifted to me, or that it was a one-off, or that it was a fluke. What a terrible mindset to have. Some of you may know that the intro that I just gave is pretty much direct plagiarism from a motivational speaker named Zig Ziglar. And Zig says that the choice is mine. Zig says that whether my actions are going to allow me success or whether they're going to allow me failures, the choice is mine. If I practice inaction, if I don't prepare, if I have a mindset of a failure, that's exactly what I'm going to end up with. But on the contrary, more importantly, if I prepare for success, if I plan for success, if I work harder than everybody else, and if that's what I expect from myself, that's exactly what I'm going to get. I didn't believe that upon my first listening. I listened to Zig repeatedly. On the way to work, on the way home from work. I listened to him on the way to sales meetings. I annoyed my wife like you couldn't imagine by making her listen to it with me on her way across the state to go visit her parents. And something funny happened. The more I listened to it, the more I began to feel it. The more I began to absorb it. The more I began to believe it, most importantly. And as I began to believe it, I thought, why don't I challenge myself? Maybe read a book a week. Get to work an hour earlier that day. Go on one more sales meeting that day. Pray daily with my wife. What have you. And as I did those things, as I practiced those things, I began to see incremental successes happen in my life. I began to see work become much more successful. My relationship with my wife became better and better. It's funny how that kind of thing snowballs. I'm not here to tell you that I have everything figured out. I am very far from having everything figured out. What I can tell you is I know who I want to be when I'm 40, when I'm 50. And I am in control of making that happen. If I stay disciplined, hold myself accountable, I can achieve all of those things. So I have 3 objectives in being here today. One is to help make you guys feel comfortable with who I am and for you to get to know me. The other is to give my icebreaker. And lastly is to ask a favor of all of you. So my first is a little background on me. I'm from Richmond, Michigan, which is just up the road a little bit. I graduated high school there in 2008, went to Western Michigan for college and graduated in 2012 with a degree in sales and marketing. I met my wife there. We were both lucky enough to graduate with jobs right out of college that led us to Chicago for a couple of years. We got engaged when we were out there. We decided that when we got married, we wanted to move back home, and that's exactly what we did. Secondly, giving my icebreaker. I don't want to minimize it, having it be only one of 3 objectives, because it is a huge step in the right direction for me in terms of becoming a more competent speaker, becoming a more confident leader. I can't wait to see where I'm at when I'm a distinguished Toastmaster like Jeff, or like any of the others. But the third, and most importantly, and also most selfishly, is to ask a favor of you. And that is that you hold me accountable. I know where I want to be when I'm 40, when I'm 50, but I only have so much discipline. So when you see me give a half-hearted speech, if I miss a couple of meetings, I want you guys to tell me, okay, I need that. Is that something that you feel like you can do for me?
Sure.
Thank you. Mr. Toastmaster.